The time now is 4:00, and we're getting ready to call the meeting to order. So I'm calling the meeting to order now. And good evening to you. See a nice crowd today, and I appreciate that. First thing I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Moved by Dr. Wolfer,
Second.
second by Mr. Freeman.
And Madam President,
Yes, sir.
may I make a motion that we amend the agenda to make 3 changes, to remove SS2,
Okay.
to add FSS 11
Okay.
and also to add PS 6.
All right. Will you state them again, please?
Yes, ma'am. That would be to remove FSS 2, to add FSS 11, and to add PS 6.
All right. Are there any questions? Dr. Figley?
At least I don't know what these are referring to. The one that's in our booklet, I understand that one, but these things that are being added, is there any kind of indication as to what we're adding?
Yes, sir, Dr. Ficklin, if I may.
Sure. Go right ahead.
Dr. Ficklin, FSS 2 is being removed as the pre-K grant. FSS 11 is a green sheet lease agreement regarding the Chromebooks. PS 6,
At least with what?
it's a green sheet that they'll go over regarding Chromebooks. It's in the stack that you have at your desk, yes, sir. And PS 6 is a personnel matter that we'll receive in executive session.
Now, the Chromebook was already in our notebook, so what are we adding is what I'm asking.
That's what the handout that you have as FSS 11 is.
So it's something different on that than what we've already looked at in here?
It's an additional item. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's something additional to what's in here,
Yes, sir.
and we're adding that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
It's in your green sheet.
I understand, I just got here, I hadn't had time to look at the green sheet. Okay,
you.
now what would you said something about P?
And under personnel services, PS 6 is an item that we will receive in executive session.
Okay,
Yes,
that's,
sir.
Are there any other questions? All those in favor?
I don't know that there was.
I'll second it then.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
All right, it's been properly motioned by Dr. Wolflock. And
We'll vote on the amendment first.
all right. At this time, we will vote on the amendment. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. All right, so
Yep.
the ayes have it. And we will move on to the invocation.
We need to approve the agenda.
Now, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
We've already moved, and now that it's been amended and voted, we just need to vote.
All those in favor of the amending the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Thank you. At this time, we will have invocation by Dr. Henry Figley.
may we bow. O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, our shelter from the stormy blast, and our eternal home. Bless us as we gather here to exercise the privilege and duty to serve given to us by our community. Cause us to recommit to our main objective, the children who are most dependent upon our leadership to make their lives successful. Guide us, O God, guide our minds to respect the rule of law, and guide our hearts to be truly committed to doing the right thing. Help us to respect each other so that our work will be for the good of the whole community. And teach us, O Heavenly Father, to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. Your word in James 1:5 promises wisdom to those who ask. So we humbly ask for your insight in all our decisions. Lead us, Lord, in making choices that best benefit our students, teachers, and the community. Give us unit of purpose and open our hearts with understanding, invoking your presence to reinforce in us that we are truly here for the children. May we always act honestly, with love and grace as we serve. In the name of our Lord and Savior, we do pray. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Fickley. At this time, we will hear from our Instructional Services Committee, chaired by Dr. Lisa Garrett Boyd. Dr. Boyd.
Good afternoon, and it's great to see y'all today. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a good day to be in Macon, Georgia, as our mayor always says. First, we have IS1, which is our school consolidation exploration, always with the beautiful Katika Lovett.
Thank you. Thank you. And good afternoon, Board President Johnson, Superintendent.
And Thelma.
Good afternoon, Board President Johnson, Superintendent Sims, and members of the Board of Education. Today, I am joined by Thero and Pless, and together we're going to walk through the findings of the school consolidation exploration, which was, of course, requested by the board. Our presentation reflects months of analysis, engagement, and thoughtful review to ensure our decisions place student success and operational efficiency at the center. Here you have our overview and agenda for today. Now, we begin this process with a commitment to transparency and data integrity. My intent today is to walk you through a good bit of data that informed the decisions that we'll share today. Today, we'll cover the rationale for our exploration, walk through the scenarios that we've modeled, and ultimately share 2 key recommendations for moving forward. Here you have our roadmap in front of you. We'll start with the school consolidation scenarios, which you've heard before, but I'll share a bit more data concerning those scenarios. We'll also talk about the non-consolidation scenarios and respective data. We'll talk about recommendations on behalf of the administration and end with next steps. Our mission, vision, and goals have grounded this work from the beginning. The success, safety, and well-being of every student is our North Star. This includes ensuring equitable access to programs, responsive staffing, and community-focused decision-making that aligns with our core values. And here you have our mission and vision in front of you. Our mission, of course, is the Bibb County School District maximizes student achievement and social emotional well-being by building a sense of community in safe and equitable learning environments. Our vision: students are empowered to learn, to lead, innovate, and serve as productive and caring citizens within their chosen paths of success. Now, this slide reminds us why we're here. Our ultimate goal is student achievement, and that's the lens through which we must view any potential school consolidation exploration. Our 4 Me outcomes define success for our students. Whether they are enrolled, enlisted, employed, or entrepreneurs, we are preparing them to choose their best fit path. Now, as we explored school consolidation, we weren't just looking at buildings. We're assessing how well our current structure supports these outcomes. Are we maximizing resources to truly personalize learning, ensure safety, and empower students? And our goals, just like our guiding principles, have remained central in every decision that we've made. Here you have our strategy map, and I'll just focus on the theory of action, which simply says if we build stakeholder engagement of students, parents, staff, and community, and strengthen staff effectiveness to drive teaching and learning, we will indeed maximize student achievement. One piece that was paramount to this school consolidation exploration is the stakeholder engagement element, which you've heard about in our previous presentation, but I want to just stress that piece as we continue the discussion today. This timeline outlines the 4 key phases of this process, starting with the board's request, which happened at the end of the 23-24 school year. Following the timeline as shown, we engaged in data collection and analysis, broad community engagement, and scenario modeling from July of 2024 up until the present date of April 2025. Each phase has informed our recommendations. Here you see those core elements. We've started every presentation by looking at the core elements of the process. And as we approach this work, we kept several core principles in focus. Transparency guided our communications. Equity ensured that all voices, especially those from historically underserved communities, were included. Student support remained a non-negotiable, and we considered long-term financial planning at every step. So to get us started, let's talk a little bit more about what is school consolidation, or what was our operating definition as we went through our process. To clarify, school consolidation involves merging two or more school communities, typically to create an efficiently or more efficiently operated institution. This is often prompted by changes in enrollment, facility condition, or cost pressures, and aims to streamline operations while maintaining or improving educational quality. So why did we explore consolidation? Now, we launched this exploration in response to several key challenges, declining student enrollment being one of them in specific zones, aging and underutilized facilities, the need to distribute resources more equitably, and we also wanted to evaluate potential long-term financial savings. Our work was guided by a 7-point consolidation matrix, and this included data collection on enrollment, facilities, and financials, as well as extensive stakeholder engagement. From that, we developed 5 scenarios, again, 3 involving consolidation and 2 that maintained current buildings. Walking you through here some more of our community engagement, just a few highlights. We held 7 school-based community meetings, 2 in person and 1 virtual district-wide town hall, and met monthly with our steering committee. Key community concerns included preserving neighborhood identity, managing transportation logistics, and protecting class sizes, all while focusing on student well-being. So let's talk a little bit more about the scenarios. Again, this is really a review of what those scenarios were, but I'll go a little bit deeper into the data that informs each and every one of them. We developed 3 different consolidation scenarios, and each was modeled with unique combinations of schools with the intent to improve building usage, reduce costs, and better align programs across zones. So as a review, scenario A involves Hartley Elementary School, and in that scenario, Hartley students would attend Ingram Pie and Southfield Elementary. The middle and the high school enrollment would remain the same, with the students who are addressed for Hartley still attending Ballard Middle School and Southwest High School. In scenario B, which originates with Williams Elementary School, students would attend Ingram Pie Elementary and Hartley Elementary School, and those students would remain the same, or their feeder patterns would remain the same, with those students who have addresses for Williams attending Miller Middle School and Central High School. And finally, scenario C involves Porter Elementary School, in which Porter would consolidate with Hurd and Skyview, and those students would remain in the same feeder pattern, attending Rutland Middle School and Rutland High School. This slide displays projected student enrollment by school under each consolidation model. The aim was to reduce under-enrollment while avoiding overcapacity in any one building. I would like to draw your attention to both the available seats, denoted in red as of October the 1st, 2024, and the building utilization after consolidation, which is found in the last column. In scenario A, Ingram Pie had 200 and Southfield had 295 available seats. In scenario B, Hartley had 115 available seats. And finally, in scenario C, Hurd had 179 and Skyview had 227 available seats. This information was used to calculate building utilization post-consolidation and indicates rates between 92% and 99% across designated campuses. And again, that's the information that you'll see in the final column on the right. Next, let's explore the financial implications associated with school consolidation. Scenario A proposes consolidating Hartley into Ingram Pie and Southfield and yields non-instructional cost savings, particularly in facilities, maintenance, and personnel, with a total cost savings of $1,019,175. And again, that's when you're totaling. If you look at the chart in front of you, you'll see the general funded positions. Those positions and the estimated savings is denoted there on the right, the total operational savings, and the information at the bottom. You'll see the numbers. I just added them together in that total number that I gave you, but this gives you the breakdown across positions, operations, as well as school nutrition services. Scenario B proposes consolidation of Williams Elementary into Ingram Pie and Hartley. Cost savings are slightly higher, with a noted total savings of $1.1 million across non-instructional funded programs. And finally, in scenario C, which proposes consolidation of Porter into Heard and Skyview, the cost savings are relatively comparable to the others at $1,051,300 across non-instructional funded programs. So let's talk a little bit more about the transportation associated with consolidation. Transportation analysis included rerouting models to assess how consolidation would affect ride times, cost, and logistics. Efforts were made to minimize disruption while supporting efficient busing. In scenario A, Hartley to Ingram Pie and Southfield, Southfield and Ingram Pie would absorb 180 additional students across the two campuses, requiring 3 additional bus routes. The projected cost for this transportation adjustment for the FY 26-27 school year is approximately $156,000. In scenario B, for this configuration, of course, Williams Elementary is closed and students are reassigned to Ingram Pie and Hartley. Those schools would receive an additional 116 additional riders, prompting the need for 2 new buses between those 2 campuses at a projected cost of $104,000. Again, receiving schools are already operating multiple buses, so adjustments are feasible with minor scaling. And finally, for scenario C, this part of these scenarios consolidates Porter students into Heard and Skyview. Heard and Skyview would take in 138 additional students, requiring 3 additional buses. The cost projection is $156,000, which mirrors scenario A's total. Despite the larger number of current riders and buses at Heard and Skyview, this scenario is manageable with simply slight expansion to make that happen, because they're all in that same zone. All right, so we'll go over the non-consolidation scenarios. We also modeled 2 scenarios that did not involve school closures. These focused on improving efficiency through things such as boundary adjustments, staffing, and program placement. I'll start with scenario A. This is John R. Lewis, and the students from John R. Lewis who are identified in the South Zone would be rezoned to attend Williams Elementary School. The middle and the high school enrollment would remain the same for those students who would be attending J.R. Lewis, in that they would then go to Miller Middle School and Central High School. So those students from John Lewis would go to Williams, and they would remain in Miller and Central High School. For Taylor Elementary School, now this one is a slightly different scenario here. This doesn't so much have an impact on the elementary side of this, but this does help to relieve some of the overcrowding that we're seeing in the feeders. So for this one, Taylor Elementary School's North Zone students would be rezoned for middle and high school, and those students would attend Miller Middle and Central High School. Middle and high school enrollment would not remain the same because those students currently attend Howard, but their student addresses, again, for Taylor, who are in that North Zone, would then go to Miller and Central. So that is the one that has the change in terms of the feeders. Now, these projections show how better balancing enrollment across existing schools might improve building utilization without needing to consolidate campuses. Here you have the example first of John R. Lewis and Williams Elementary School. I'll point you to the same data we looked at before. If you start with the information in red, those are the available seats as of October the 1st, 2024. You'll see that John R. Lewis was actually over capacity at a building utilization rate of 101%. There were 12 students over capacity there. After this particular change, if we were to move forward with the students being reassigned to Williams, that would then drop their building utilization to 94%. You also look at Williams Elementary School, who had 181 available seats. The building utilization was previously 62%. However, if we add the additional students coming out of John R. Lewis, that would increase their building utilization rate to 73%. And you'll see the other information listed there at the bottom in terms of the Roser Taylor possibility. These are estimations for this particular one at the bottom, but you'll see those students at Howard Middle School, Miller Middle School, and Central High School. We do anticipate the building utilization information to shift there as well. In that middle piece for Howard would go down from 109%. Miller we have more students there at Miller and more at Central. So we see some increases to those numbers. We also examined transportation implications for these non-consolidation scenarios. Just want to point out here that these generally show minimal change from current patterns. If you look at the information in front of you, you'll see that they pretty much offset in looking at the scenarios that were put in front of you in terms of non-consolidation. Based on the cost savings review for the non-consolidation scenarios, there are no significant cost savings for non-consolidation scenario A or B. Ultimately, the overall benefit of the non-consolidation scenarios is the stabilization of building utilization for schools above and below capacity in the Central and Howard zones. While these scenarios offer limited cost savings, they may improve operational efficiency, which will have a financial benefit over future years. So given all of the information that I've shared with you, I want to bring you to some recommendations that we have come up with. But before we move into the final recommendations, I want to take a moment to summarize the depth of work that has brought us to this point. Over the past several months, we conducted the comprehensive and community-informed exploration of school consolidation. We began by reviewing enrollment trends, facility utilization, and operational costs across the district. We used that 7-point matrix that I talked about earlier, and we carefully evaluated each scenario through multiple lenses: academics, operationals, financial, and community-based. We engaged the voices of our community through school-based meetings, town hall, steering committee sessions, and stakeholder feedback tools. Throughout the process, we heard consistent themes around neighborhood preservation, access to transportation, the importance of maintaining smaller class sizes, and student well-being. On the data side, a bit of which has been shared today, we developed and analyzed consolidation scenarios, and each scenario was reviewed for its impact on enrollment balance, building usage, transportation, staffing, and cost savings. Now, what we have found is that while school consolidation can lead to significant operational efficiencies, it also comes with notable trade-offs, particularly when it comes to community identity and transition planning. Conversely, non-consolidation options such as rezoning present opportunities to improve utilization with less disruption, though they may offer fewer direct cost savings on the front end. We've carefully weighed all of these considerations, and today we're prepared to offer 2 recommendations that reflect both the quantitative findings and the qualitative findings we've received from across the district. Our first recommendation is to pursue a district-wide rezoning process. This allows us to balance enrollment across schools, improve staffing efficiency, and preserve community identity, all without closing buildings. Exploring the reasons for considering rezoning before consolidation is crucial, maintaining a balanced approach to school enrollment. By opting for rezoning, we can avoid the negative impacts of closing schools, which may disrupt community identity and neighborhood ties. Again, something we heard consistently in our engagement with community members. This strategy not only enhances building utilization, but also improves staffing efficiency, which I mentioned a moment ago. And additionally, rezoning supports equity by ensuring that all students have access to programs and services regardless of their location. This approach fosters a more inclusive environment, which is essential for the overall success of our educational system. So why is rezoning a better fit for immediate next steps? Rezoning is a strategic, less disruptive option. Our facilities are also still in usable condition, good condition, and the community has expressed interest in preserving existing schools. A couple of other things I want to point out here. While we did see some declines in enrollment, it's not yet at a level of what we deem severe at this point. Of course, I've talked about the community engagement, and I think that we also need to point out here, I think I listed it there on the slide, there are opportunities to assess boundaries strategically so that we can also resolve some of the imbalance issues. And here you have recommendation number 2, which is an organizational efficiency study. Our second recommendation is to issue an RFP for an organizational efficiency study. This will allow us to assess our leadership structure and district operations more holistically to determine where further savings or reorganization may be possible. This second recommendation presents an alternative pathway to immediate school consolidation, one that takes a broader, more systemic view of how our district operates. We are recommending the completion of our organizational efficiency study as a strategic alternative to closing or consolidating schools right away. The purpose of the study is twofold. First, to assess the district's leadership structure, including how our central office, is organized and functions. Second, to conduct a comprehensive review of district-wide facility use, looking beyond just school buildings to understand all our physical resources and how they are utilized across the system. In terms of the timeline, we're proposing the issuance of a RFP possibly in May of 2025 with the goal of having a detailed presentation for the board by July or August of 2025. The intended outcome is to develop a long-term strategy that improves the efficiency of our entire district operation, both in how we're structured and how we use space, while also identifying opportunities for cost savings. So why conduct an efficiency study? Again, the efficiency study will give us a comprehensive, independent analysis of our operational structure. It will give us a clear, evidence-based roadmap for future decision-making, including but not limited to school consolidation, and help ensure we are making the most responsible and strategic use of our resources. So now we are at our next steps. Immediately following this presentation, our goal is to release the RFP for the efficiency study. We also plan to begin to outline our process for community-informed rezoning to be implemented in the next planning cycle. And that brings me to the end of my presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lovett. Do we have any questions for Dr. Lovett? Yes. You want to refer to Dr. Woodford first? Thank you. Oh. Thank you, sir.
And thank you, ma'am. I tell you, when I read this, you can't imagine how encouraged and excited I was that you were listening and you took all the information at hand from the qualitative data and information you received, as well as the quantitative. So those parent voices, those community stakeholders, they came out and they shared their thoughts and you listened. So for that, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Our pleasure. Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Fiegling.
Oh, okay, I thought she had a question. Well, I want to also dovetail on to what Dr. Woodford has said, and I certainly appreciate your presentation. And I have seen in this presentation where you did include some of the suggestions that we had, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for that presentation. And I appreciate your style of presentation, even though I know you are pressed for time, and we can't ask questions as we get to them. So I try to make a little note so I can go back and ask that question.
Yes, sir.
One of the things about under the cost savings scenario B, you point out that, and you have from each school what the cost savings will be. And all of these cost savings are with personnel costs. And so my question is, are we talking about reduction in personnel as well?
Yes, so under this information, and I just pulled up one, I believe this is what you're referencing, under this particular slide. So for instance, if we were going to consolidate from one campus, obviously going over to two, we would have some savings in terms of the personnel that's listed here. For instance, the principals, assistant principals, those types of positions, we would see some cost savings in those areas. The other savings that are associated with the consolidation scenario are primarily non-instructional costs. Again, things such as the operations, the electricity and water, so on and so forth, because obviously we'd be operating one less building. And the last piece is around nutrition. So there's a balance. Some of it is personnel, and then the rest of it is true kind of operational
Most
costs.
of it is personnel.
The bulk of it is personnel,
Well,
yes,
you
sir.
have your biggest savings with personnel.
The biggest savings, yes,
Has
sir.
there been any thought given to what would happen to those people that it's going to be an Elon Musk thing that just lose their jobs?
I know that there has been some conversation about what a process might look like to ensure that they have an opportunity to pursue other positions. I would defer to our HR department to talk about what that could potentially look like, should we move forward.
Jobs,
Right,
that's open.
That's right.
And so that was the thing that, came to my mind. We're talking about consolidation, but we also talk about
people,
less personnel.
right.
And of course, I think that it needs to be something that we need to discuss as a board as well. And that presentation needs to be given to us if there are going to be that many openings to absorb the number of personnel that I see on here that would just be out of a job if we just consolidated and they went somewhere else. Principals, assistant principals, and all of those. Okay, and then the second question, I did see near the end of your presentation where you did have a statement, and I want to know, is that statement in response to, you remember I asked about the maps and the zoning maps. And I did make a note of that as you were going through there, because I did look at those zoning maps very carefully. And you have on, I guess it's slide 26, recommendation 1, explore district-wide rezoning.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you said there are opportunities to assess boundaries strategically. And that is that talking about looking at the lines, and I think that is something that is very much needed because I think that will kind of answer some of the student loads in certain areas and balance the whole thing out. And I appreciate that. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for your feedback, sir.
Thank you for your presentation. I just had one question, and I thank you also, yes, for all of your work and for listening to the community and the stakeholders. My question is really around whether some of this has already occurred by just the rumor that a consolidation might occur. So have we had attrition or resignations just on the possibility that something might happen?
So I can't speak to that specifically. We don't always know the specifics of why people are leaving. I will tell you that as the conversations were happening at the school level, we did a couple things. We had an opportunity in many cases to meet with faculty. Some schools did request that we have a separate faculty meeting so that we could hear their concerns. In many cases, reassure them in terms of what their positions and things would look like. We were very clear that we were not talking about losing students, but we would still have those opportunities available to them. So we didn't see a mass exodus. I will say that we did not see a mass exodus in response to school consolidation. If there were other reasons people left, of course, I can't completely speak to that, but at least from my perspective, not so much related to school consolidation. And I would say that by pointing to those schools that we'd identified and looking at the level of teachers, individuals who left those schools, and we did not see a mass exodus.
Turned it off.
Yeah.
If you wanted, it didn't work. But thank you again for what that committee has done, because I know the work has been almost impossible to do and to please everyone. I have a couple questions.
Yes,
You had mentioned somewhere in here about the enrollment not yet severe, the numbers. How far out have you looked to make that recommendation or to look at those numbers?
Yeah, so we did look, we basically looked backwards, over the last few years, over a 5-year, actually over 5 years, looking at the trend. And so looking at that trend in terms of our rate of students who are moving on and things of that nature, if we continue the trends that we've saw, we will maybe see some declines or some drop-offs, but not yet to the point where we are unable to, not yet to the point that we felt like was something where we'd have to definitively state we can't keep a building open because we're losing so many kids. Like, we're losing them in different places. Let me put it that way. We're losing them in different places overall, but not yet one that truly hits and severely impacts one school community over the other. That's what I meant when I was talking about the severe kind of impact of what we're seeing. We haven't seen it in that way.
Okay.
We also looked ahead a little bit to projections, as we're projecting for this next year. And so looking at that information ahead as far as we can, and then looking backwards, we didn't see a severe drop-off, at least in what's happened over the past 5 years. And so if we follow that trend, we don't anticipate that coming, at least at this point.
Did you play into I know we have some discussions about a new charter school, also the Promise Scholarship, possibly. I'm sure that discussion was taking place. So that really didn't play into your your projections here at all?
That's right. So in terms of the promised scholarship, it did not play into our projections because we don't know exactly how many of those students we will actually receive here in Bibb. So that's not something, we're aware of it. We're very much aware of it. But in terms of our projections for what the numbers may look like long-term, that's not something that we incorporated here. In terms of a possibility of a charter school, of course, we're not yet at that point of making any type of determination on that, but we'll look at it when it comes in terms of a charter school. I can tell you that for the charter conversations that we've had preliminary meetings, we're not talking about, again, hundreds of students that may be even in those situations. So there may be some offsetting here and there in terms of numbers, but not yet, again, severely impacting one school community over the other.
One other question. I'm sorry I'm asking all the questions here. Opening, if we close the school, if we consolidate a school, I know Dr. Ficklen's concerns we're losing teachers, but how many, I mean, we're talking what? Not next year, it'd be, what, 2 years? Is that right?
Right. We would want to do like a planning year. So we would, if we were to move forward, we would have next year to be our planning year. So we plan for implementation and then shoot for the 26-27 school year.
How many teachers, and you may not know this, how many teachers do we lose each year? I mean, I know we replace a lot. So that possibility of those teachers at a school that we were possibly closing would still have possibility for jobs.
Yeah, so I would have to get that information back to you. I don't know it right off of my head.
Okay.
But I will denote your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you. And thank you for listening to the community and the parents and what they had to say about consolidation. I think you've done a very thorough job in getting that information together to come up with a recommendation. So am I to understand that the recommendation is rezoning over consolidation?
So the recommendation is to explore rezoning as a next step, like to really look at that before we make a firm decision on school consolidation, doing a little bit more work on the rezoning aspect. When we ultimately did a small piece of that in looking at the non-consolidation options, right? But we want to look at it district-wide, look at a possible plan for district-wide rezoning. And so that would be the next step in lieu of school consolidation at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had also made a note on slide number 14.
Okay.
And it just, I don't know why it's like this right here, where you have available seats, you have none for Hartley, Williams, or Porter as being available seats. And I just want to know why was that like that?
Yes. So on this particular slide, what you're looking at in the first line shows what will happen after. I'm sorry. I take that back. I do see that piece missing. Is it Go ahead and speak on the mic.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. And so as we see here with scenario A, Hartley Elementary School, because that is the identified school for the consolidation scenario, that's why that particular number, the available seats, is not there. But if we're looking at building capacity minus the current enrollment at that time, it looks like about 115 available seats. But we wanted to be able to note the available seats at the receiving schools. And so we see those numbers for Ingram Pike at 200 and Southfield. And so ultimately for scenario A with Hartley Elementary, scenario B, LH Williams and Porter, those are the identified schools for consolidation. And the numbers we wanted to be able to represent for the receiving schools, how many available slots they had for at that time.
I just wish we had the number for them as well, because by leaving those numbers off, it seems to be indicative of saying these are the schools we're going to close.
Okay. So we can certainly add that information. I can note that as something that the board would like to receive.
Yeah, I would like to see the information, because when you look at it, this doesn't look right. The rest of them got a red number by them, and those don't have a red number. Mm-hmm. They do have some available seats at those schools.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We have noted that as such. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Mr. Morton?
Dr. Lovett, just out of curiosity, when you have enrollment as of October 1 of 2024, is that K through 5? Does it include pre-K or does it not include pre-K?
Yeah, that includes pre-K.
Yes, it does include pre-K, and that particular time frame kind of includes our FTE count at that moment for October of 2024.
Although pre-K is not
But pre-K
included
is
in
included,
FTE.
but it is added. We have, when we met with our steering committee, we included those numbers of students that were counted for FTE as well as pre-K.
And I'm
So
glad you did because
Okay.
they're there. They're taking
Yes,
up
yes,
space.
so it is a
I mean,
total- yes.
I get you. So I'm
Okay.
fine with that. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Just one other observation. It is very easy in the abstract to say you've got a school that's underpopulated and maybe we should close that school. But then when you look at the capacity numbers of the schools who end up receiving these students, you put them basically at 100% capacity. We certainly, and I've seen projections, part of our budget process would indicate there's going to be some fairly significant growth, which could put schools over capacity. And so, sometimes the cure is worse than the disease. And that's why I'm glad you're all looking at rezoning as a possibility, because we definitely need to do it. Particularly Skyview, they're 25 students away from getting to 450. And I think that's something that's a relatively simple fix. We know that 450 is a magic number for us. So I'm glad you're taking a look at that.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Freeman.
Thank you again for your presentation. I want to thank the committee for the work that's been done. I'm reminded as we are at this point of a comment that was made to me by a community member before we started, which was, well, why don't y'all just pick a school and combine two schools? It's not that hard. It's real simple. You just pick two schools and put them together. Y'all have done it lots of times in the past. It could be done again. Well, this is the answer to that. Y'all took the time to go through, like Mr. Morton, I'm surprised when I look at the capacity. I know the numbers. I see when we do a chart of which schools are under the magic number, you got all these numbers in red. But when you look at capacity, you can't just say, let's take this school, put it together, solve all the problems, and save $1 million. That scenario does not work. I'm very appreciative that we are able to look at these and all of the effects that go into what a consolidation would look like. And the truth is, we've got some very large schools that would be even larger at full capacity in some of these scenarios that I can't imagine an elementary school that big. And so that is concerning. I'm most appreciative that we're, as I interpret this, basically taking a pause on consolidation while we consider the rezoning aspect, because all along I have thought we needed to look at rezoning. I appreciate that we came up with the non-consolidation scenarios that said, let's take this group of students at this school and do this with that group of students in a least disruptive way. But as district board members, we have to look at the district as a whole. And I think some of these issues, it's not as easy as taking this group and putting it here. It's maybe we're going to have to move this neighborhood over here and this neighborhood over here. And I think that that's a healthy way to address this. And so I'm excited for the next phase of this.
Thank you for your feedback.
Any other questions? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a lot of hard work. And I ditto everyone else. Thank you for listening to the people in this community as well. Because, we're a part of this community too. And we're sitting here listening to all of this, but we can certainly relate. And with a history like I have in just about every corner of this county, we've heard what everybody has said, and we appreciate you listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now I have labeled this team the Fabulous Five. We're going to hear about safety and security from Sam Kitchens, Chief Curtis Adams, Anthony Jackson, David Gowan, and Kevin Adams.
We got to live up to that.
Come on.
Thank you. Good afternoon, President Johnson, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Sims. This afternoon, we're pleased to present the board with district-wide safety and security updates. And we will start with our mission and vision. As the mission, the Bibb County School District maximizes student achievement, social emotional well-being by building a sense of community in a safe and equitable learning environment. And our vision, students are empowered to learn, lead, innovate, and serve as productive, caring citizens within their chosen paths of success. So today, our guiding principles will be focusing mostly on safety and effective leadership. It also supports our goals of student achievement, staff effectiveness, and stakeholder engagement. And for our overview today, the purpose of this presentation is to provide district-level updates on safety and security initiatives. While some of these initiatives are funded through the school safety grants at the state level, the majority are funded through the voter-approved East Bloss referendum. And today we'll hear from Campus Police Chief Curtis Adams, Safety and Security Director David Gowan, Kevin Adams, our Chief Information Officer, and Anthony Jackson, Executive Director of Transportation, all around key types of safety measures in their respective divisions. And this is intended to provide some clarity around safety and security in 3 critical areas, and that are operational, physical, and technological safety. And a brief introduction to our safety and security team. While we'll hear from a few presenting members, the safety and security team is comprised of executive level leadership from other departments across the district as well. And I'd like to recognize those team members. Of course, we have our amazing leader, Deputy Superintendent Dr. Katika Lovett, Deputy Chief Giddens with Campus Police, Sergeant Matt Gigler with Safety and Security, Lori Wall with Capital Programs, Antonio Simmons with Facilities and Maintenance, Conda Schumann with School Nutrition, Joshua Moneypenny with Technology, Kevin Grooms with Athletics, and Ashley Newberry with our school nursing programs. The safety and security and well-being of our students, staff, and community is paramount, and our team is intentional with collaborative and strategic efforts to ensure this safety and security. Our team meets weekly to review the actionable agenda items, measure implementations against best practices. The team discusses how our initiatives will protect against potential threats, how we can continuously improve our safety protocols, all while ensuring our efforts are consistently aligned with our district's goals and guiding principles. So I'll now turn it over to Police Chief Curtis Adams.
Under operational safety and security, just let me start with the basics. Our campus police are here to provide a safe and secure environment for teaching and learning. Just plain and simple. We work every day to make sure that our schools are safe from students and staff, that they teach and have a safe place to teach and learn. We are active, we are visible, and we engage all across every campus. But who are they really? They are certified police officers. They are trained, equipped, and they are ready to respond in any situation. But that's just not part of what they do. The title says it all, that they are a resource. They're a resource to our staff, and they're a resource to our school district. But what sets them apart? What sets them apart is that enforcement is the last resort for them. Connection comes first. Every day, they show up to build relationships. Mentorship isn't something that we hope that they do. Mentorship is something that we require that they do. They engage with students, they guide them, and they help shape their paths. When kids make bad choices, and they will make bad choices, they don't just respond with muscles. They offer counseling, redirection, and accountability. It's about growth and not punishment. They are part of the school life. You all will see them. They're at the games, they're at school events, they're in the lunchrooms, they stop by classrooms, and it's not because they have to do it, it's because they choose to do it. They are trained to respond to more than just behavior issues. They are trained in mental health first aid, they are trained in trauma awareness, de-escalation, and restorative practice. They understand the child behind the challenge. They take on roles beyond law enforcement. They are mentors, big brothers and sisters, coaches, field trip chaperones, and they partner with all our staff and all of our families. That's my amazing team. Check them out. So these are just some of the tools that help them do their jobs. But it's about preparation. It's about safety for all of our officers and all of our students. And we've also added a simulator machine down there on the right end. That tool is invaluable for our officers. It's a game changer. It helps our officers make sound decisions in high-pressure situations. It sharpens their judgment, and it keeps everyone safer. And it is used to support better outcomes. And finally, the two things that I personally respect and admire about the Bibb County Campus Police Department, who are in this room and sitting right here, is that they sacrifice two of their most precious, valuable assets. And the first thing is their time. They sacrifice their time, which is the most valuable asset. They spend all of their time, even at the expense of their own family sometimes. And the second thing, something that it would never go unnoticed for me as your chief of police and your comrade, is that your willingness to sacrifice and lay down your lives to protect the students and staff of the Bibb County School District. And you can't teach that. You can't train that. It comes from heart. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all of you all, and I love all of you all.
Good afternoon. I would first like to start by saying the most important tools to any safety initiative are the people. Those are the ones that are serving and also the ones that are being served. So what I like to do first is just identify some numbers here. We currently have 137 bus drivers, 34 monitors, another 12 personnel in the shop, and a small contingent of supervisors that are working with over 8,000 students morning and afternoon that are riding our buses to and from school, just to keep them safe. In alignment with the district's mission, transportation's mission is to provide students with safe and secure transportation to and from their destinations in an environment that enhances the total learning experience. We accomplish this by providing continuous training for staff, by maintaining a healthy fleet, through regularly scheduled maintenance, and through new bus purchases. And we also utilize video surveillance and other technology equipment daily. And those last two things is what we will focus on over the next two slides. We currently deploy two types of camera systems on our school buses with a configuration of anywhere from 1 to 7 cameras. The slide that you're looking at here today consists of the most current configuration, which is a 5-camera configuration. The very first slide at the top from left to right shows the driver compartment as well as the entry door and a portion of the seating compartment for students. The next 3 slides show the seating compartment for students. And then the very last slide at the bottom to your right, that is a rear camera view through the front windshield. Through the platform that we utilize, we do have the capability of actually zooming in on each of these slides, either from a freeze frame or as the video is playing as well. Now, with this video data, we're doing one or two things. We're either being reactionary or we're being proactive. A lot of times what we're doing is looking at video footage after the fact to verify an incident that has been reported to us, either from students, staff members, or other stakeholders. The other thing that we do from a proactive standpoint is we use video footage to make assessments, conduct driver and monitor assessments to identify needs, whether it's additional training, additional supports, to help them as they go about their daily business of transporting students and keeping them safe. And then we utilize this data in various other ways of just as another data point as we work to make decisions about future initiatives as it relates to student and staff safety. All right, other technologies that we utilize in transportation involve the Tyler Drive tablets, as well as the MyRide K-12 parent and student app. The MyRide tablet is utilized daily by drivers to perform and submit the school bus safety inspections prior to each route. They're also able to utilize these tablets to identify student riders. So as students utilize their IDs to scan on and off the bus, and if you look at the top right picture, that is a student ID scan bar or device. So the student scans against that, and that information shows on the panel for the driver. It does a couple things. It identifies the student for the driver. It allows the drivers to become aware, know that the student, number one, is assigned to the route that they're covering, and that the student is getting on and off at the correct stop. Drivers also utilize the tablets to receive turn-by-turn directions for their assigned routes, as well as other routes that we may ask them to cover last minute. The parent side of this and the student side through MyRide K-12, and these actually work in tangent with one another. Parents and students are able to track the bus during route times to receive information as it relates to what time the bus is scheduled to arrive or will approximately arrive. And then if parents activate or turn on the notifications for scans on the device, they can actually receive information or notifications when the student has scanned on and off of the bus. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. The Safety and Security Department works every day to ensure the physical safety for students and our staff, to maintain secure facilities, to integrate advanced weapons detection systems, also to create effective emergency response plans, and we try to foster a culture of vigilance and preparedness in our schools. Some of the items we have in our safety program to support these goals are secured vestibules, a visitor screening process, a weapons detection system, school district safety protocols such as our site-based plans and our safety regulations, and also protocols in place for our athletic events, including security personnel and crowd control. Next slide. Yep. Sorry, got it. Okay. Oh, go back one. Okay. We also have at each school, we have an A-phone access control system. And the way this system works, it's located at the school front entry, and everyone that comes to visit a school has to go through this A-phone process. There's a bell there with a camera and a speaker. So when a visitor arrives at the campus, they push the button, and the school secretary or somebody in the office asks for their ID. It's displayed on the camera. They then gain access to the school. Employees also would use this same system with their employee ID badge. This system is in place at other doors that visitors would not go to, such as at our elementary schools. We have a buzz-in system at our what we call the playground door. So when teachers escort students out to the playground, they have their ID badge with them, and they don't have to ring the office to be buzzed. They can buzz themselves and their students back into the campus. Okay. Once someone is buzzed into the campus, the next feature we have is secured vestibules. We've been in the process over the last few years of placing this in all our schools. We're down to our last 2 schools to have these, but once you're buzzed in, you then face another wall. So just because you've been buzzed in does not mean you have access to the campus. These are designed to prevent that and to funnel visitors and employees into the office area. Georgia state law does require that all visitors to schools check in at the office. So this is a physical barrier to effectuate that result. And we've been placing these in all our schools. We're down to our last 2, and we have plans in place to complete that process. We've also purchased advanced weapons detection systems called OpenGate. These were purchased with school safety and security grant monies, $1.6 million. And it's every student, every day, every school, they walk through this OpenGate weapons detection system. So it's not a random process. Every student, every day, every school, they go through this this process. And it will alert if it does detect a weapon or other types of materials. And at that point, we have processes in place where there's a secondary search initiated. We've also purchased with eSplosh funds the same OpenGate weapons detection system for our athletic department. So especially our football games on Friday night in the fall and our basketball games, we do utilize the OpenGate weapons detection system as part of that process to help keep the students and patrons or visitors safe at our athletic events, but it's the same process. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Kevin Adams. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Technological safety is increasingly important in our digital age. While many of our technology tools enhance cybersecurity, we want to highlight those that improve the operational and physical safety of our staff and students. Products from Lightspeed and Audio Enhancement allow technology to alert us to potential concerns as a catalyst for early interventions. The integration of advanced camera systems and real-time tracking capabilities ensures comprehensive coverage and enhances our ability to respond to incidents swiftly and effectively. Lightspeed Alert is a proactive school safety solution that monitors online activity, flags concerning behaviors, and enables intervention before a tragedy occurs. Using a combination of AI and human watchers, the system alerts staff to potential threats related to violence or self-harm, ensuring timely intervention. By prioritizing student safety in the digital realm, we demonstrate our commitment to fostering a safe and secure learning environment for all. The Audio Enhancement Safe System is a vital resource for teachers and staff, allowing them to request assistance quickly. Currently, all teachers wear a microphone that allows a simple push of a button to alert the office. Thanks to recently approved upgrades, new mics will have a two-tier alert, allowing response teams to distinguish the most severe needs. Additionally, all staff will have a duress badge, allowing the same alerts throughout the building. Beyond the front office, building leaders and campus police receive alerts and can spring into action. By providing real-time monitoring of alerts, we enhance our ability to respond to classroom challenges and building emergencies effectively. Classroom cameras play a dual role in our educational environment. While the cameras can be used to enhance professional development of staff and provide students with continuous learning beyond the classroom, our focus today is on the safety element. The second feed from these cameras is strictly used for security and is utilized in two ways. First, we can review recordings after the fact to determine what took place and alter our behaviors accordingly. And second, when the previous mentioned alert is activated from a paired teacher mic, the front office and campus police dispatch get an immediate live view into the classroom to help determine what level of support to enlist. While the district has had interior and exterior surveillance cameras for years, the upgraded cameras now in use provide more coverage and higher quality footage. These cameras can be viewed in real time and also have recordings reviewed as warranted. Our extensive network of over 3,200 cameras allows us to keep an eye on all that is going on throughout the district. By investing in these upgrades, we are committed to ensuring the safety and security of our school environments. Radar detection cameras significantly enhance our perimeter security. These cameras provide clearer images of movement on school properties. When the radar detects movement, the camera can pan, tilt, and zoom automatically to ensure we capture what is taking place and respond accordingly. By implementing this proactive solution, we improve our ability to monitor and respond to potential security threats effectively. Thank you.
All right. And in summary, as detailed, the district's approach to physical, operational, and technological safety is comprehensive, and not only comprehensive, but it's designed, excuse me, designed to protect our greatest assets, the students, staff, and the community. Continued collaboration and strategic planning are vital to success, and the ongoing efforts of our safety team will help ensure that we're prepared to address any challenges that may arise. So moving forward, we'll continue to review and update our safety protocols, we'll enhance our training programs, strengthen our community partnerships, leverage state-of-the-art technology, and engage our stakeholders. So together, we can build a safer, more resilient educational community. Thank you.
Well done. Any questions, board members? Yes, Mr. Moore.
Maybe let Dr. Woodford go first.
Okay, come on, Dr. Woodford. It's Dr. Woodford Day. Go ahead, Dr. Woodford.
So first of all, thank you all for what you provide for the district. If I didn't feel safe before, I definitely feel safe right now, okay? So Chief Adams, question for you. So we know that mental health is crucial for individuals in the security field. What kind of professional development or training are your officers getting in that area in terms of self-care?
Self-care, we do have programs that they can sign up for and that we do refer them to if they need self-care. And one of the things I did when I first got here, that was the first thing that I did was got with our external partners and our internal partners to see what services were available to them and to the students. So they have a vast knowledge of self-care that can help themselves as well as for the students as well. We're also working on something now where I can get all of them certified in CIT, which is Crisis Intervention Team, which is how to help officers recognize the signs and symptoms of children with mental illnesses so that they can learn how to deal with them versus a behavior that they think is a bad behavior versus something that may be something that happened traumatically in their lives.
One more question. How closely do you work with Project Aware?
I work with Project Aware. I also work with Jill, that's one of the external partners that we work with. And all of the social service agencies and everyone that we have inside and internally, we actually meet on a regular basis to discuss those things.
That's good. Thank you.
Yes.
Dr. Woodford, if I may add, I'm glad you mentioned self-care, and it's implied, but I'm sure all of them will agree the time they spend with children is self-care as well. And I want to cite one quick example. Officer Bellamy, wave your hand, Officer, has a whole clothing room established at Westside High School. Like, he put it together, am I correct? He put it together as a police officer, has a place where children actively come, right, to receive shoes, other articles of clothing, and needs. And have a feeling that it probably blesses Officer Bellamy more than it does the children. So I think that's a function of self-care that is embedded in the work that this group has decided to do, as Chief Adams mentioned. I just had to mention that. Thank you.
Mr. Morton. JDD.
I just need to become a doctor so I can get a,
JDD.
Mr. Gowan, I have a question for you about the secure vestibules. How many schools do not have them at this point?
We've got 2 remaining. We've been progressively working on making sure all the schools, we're down to our last 2.
You know which 2 those are, Mr. Gowan?
We can get that to you rather than.
Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Ms. Johnson.
Mr. Gowan, why are you up?
Yes, ma'am.
I was at Burns School on yesterday,
Yes, ma'am.
and I noticed I didn't see the best of you. Or maybe I didn't know what I was looking at.
One of them.
But I did see the detective monitors. I saw those, and I was very pleased to see that.
Yes, sir.
But did I miss the vestibule? Or did I not know what I was looking at?
we were trying to give you that information, not publicly. Yeah, go ahead.
Board President, those are in the works. So probably by the next meeting, we'll have you the financial piece to approve to have that in place. So before, hopefully before the end of the summer, that will be finished.
We've been making steady progress over the last couple of years.
Yes.
We realized that was a definite need, and we've been working on it diligently.
Okay. My next question is for the chief. You were very thorough with your report. I appreciate it. I appreciate how you protect all of us too, especially how you protect me.
I'm trying.
I was at the Macon Mall the other day.
Yes, ma'am.
Would meet me at the mall, and I saw all your staff around everywhere, and the mall was full of people.
Uh-huh.
And I understand there were no incidents. And I just want to thank you for that. You and your staff, for how you protected us, how you protected everybody at the mall. And I just saw the mall come alive again, and I loved it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I have a question for Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, I really appreciate what you're doing with the buses. But I think I heard you say you have 137 bus drivers.
That's correct.
Now, for a while, there was a huge shortage of
Still
bus
is.
drivers. It still is?
Yes.
Even
So
with the
we have an
137?
allotment of 150, so we're short 13 drivers currently.
Wow, okay. You think you might get there next winter?
We've been trying for 10 years.
And the other question, as I was looking at the pictures in the slide,
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't see any seat belts on those seats. Are the buses required to have seat belts for the students?
They are not. School buses are designed, the way the seat backs are designed and the spacing between them, it's called compartmentalization. So they're designed to keep students in that area in case of an accident. So seat belts is something that's being explored, but it's not a mandatory item on school buses.
Okay. Thank y'all so much. I did an outstanding job. I give you a hand.
That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much, Fabulous Five. Oh, and thank you to our police officers. Madam President, that concludes the business of instructional services for this month.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, we will hear from Fiscal Service Committee, Ms. Kristen Handler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our first presentation is number FSS1. Mr. Eric Bush with our monthly financial report.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Board President Johnson, board members, Superintendent Dr. Sims. Today, we're going to review the 8 months ending for February 28, 2025. We're going to start with our general fund assets, our balance sheet. Our total assets for February 28, 2025 are reported at $105.3 million. We have total liabilities at $19.4 million, leaving us with a fund balance of $85.9 million. You'll notice that fund balance to expense ratio down here is at 49%, which seems kind of high right now, but that will, since we've collected most of our revenue and taxes, that's going to work itself down through the month of June. Our total revenues to date equal $182.2 million, roughly 68% of our budgeted revenues, and our total expenses and encumbrances equal $173.9 million, 64% of our budgeted expenses. We always like to remind everybody that the dollars going directly into our classroom through instruction and people services and improvement of instructional services equals 68% of all dollars expended. Next, we'll look at our all funds. Our all funds total assets equals $725.2 million. Liabilities are $52.3 million. leaving us with a total fund balance for $672.9 million. As of February, we had $22.3 million of cash on hands. We have $144.3 million in our investment accounts, and that's a total liquid assets of $166.6 million. Looking at our all funds income statement, we have total revenues of $268.4 million, which is roughly 71% of our budgeted revenues, and total expenses and encumbrances equal $268.3 million, roughly 70% of our expenditures. We've included a glossary of sorts here for those titles in the all funds. It's very helpful for the public to get an idea of what those accounts consist of. And lastly, our eSPLOS campaigns are reporting the following. 2016 eSPLOS continues to have $66,000 in it. We plan to expend all of those dollars in the next couple months, and that brings that total receipt, our total expenditures for that campaign at $170.5 million. In our 2021 eSPLOS, for February, they collected $3.4 million, and we have total expenditures or encumbrances of $125.8 million, leaving us with cash and investments of $61.8 million. Thank you, and that concludes my presentation.
Thank you for your presentation. Are there any questions? Dr. Ficklin.
Thank you, Mr. Bush. I really follow your presentations, and I thought, and I think that was a good presentation. As a new board member, there are some things that are a question mark to me, like investment account. I know in one meeting I heard somebody say, I think it was Dr. That she was on that committee, and I have not been appraised of what is this investment account? What is the source of the funds that go into investment? And, you know, I'm the kind of person, I'll ask you questions to death until I find out what's going on.
Yes, sir.
And so that has not been presented to me, but we continue to see that we got a column here and a column here, and we got an investment column. And I don't know what that's about. Maybe you can't do it now, and I'm not asking you to do it now, but at some point, I would like to know, what is this investment account? How are monies put into it, where do they come from? And then when they are drawn down, what particular accounts they go to? I can
do some of that in a few minutes if you would like me to.
If the president, if they would let you, you know, I would like to know, but you don't have to do it now. I can find out later on.
Well, I think a quick explanation would suffice, and not just to be quick, but it's a fairly simple. Our investment accounts are held with Georgia Fund 1. It's a pooled fund at the state Georgia Treasury Office that governments can put into, and we have. As we see, we have liquid capital or unused cash. We can simply move that money into that investment fund and gain a better interest rate that they're managing for us. There's no risk in that fund at this point in time, so it's all like a money market, and it earns about 4.5% right now. That investment report is at the back. You've probably seen the investment report each month, but that's showing where all of those investments are. And there's a separate investment fund for the SPLOST accounts, and then the general fund account. So those are all pulled together to get the best return on our money that we can at any given time. My accounting department does an excellent job every day looking at our cash requirements. So most of the time we're pulling money down when payroll hits each month, twice a month, to meet those obligations. But as we see fit, we can put excess capital back to work in that investment fund. These days, you'll see that investment fund is really high, especially on the general fund. It's because all our tax dollars are sitting there earning the most money they can right now. But in the next couple months, we'll go by, they'll be expended. And
It's all in the Georgia Fund 1.
It is all in Georgia Fund 1. Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm familiar with that fund. I was just wondering, were you all doing overnight investments and those kind of, some governments doing overnight investment at the end of the day, and then they return that money that morning, and I just didn't know, but I appreciate that explanation.
Well, Truist, our bank accounts and where the cash is on that side of that column, also does overnight investments for that short-term cash that we have on hand. So they are maximizing what they can give us as a bank on a short-term notice, but it's not, the interest rate really doesn't compare to what Georgia Fund 1 can give us and the ease that it gives us to move each day.
For those overnight investments, are they considered a part of the investment account?
No, sir.
That we look over there now?
What happens in those accounts is most of the time, we do earn an interest in those cash accounts, but they also cover our fees. And so whatever fees are not paid, we earn interest on top of those. And that's been doing rather well in the current environment. There have been times where the fees are just covered you know.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Are there any other questions?
Oh, one other thing. They committed over the investments. That's what she said, that she was on some committee with the, I want to know what committee.
Let me clarify.
Thank you.
I think you're talking about the Bibb Education Foundation, which is a separate foundation that we established. Help me, Lori. In 2021. In 2021, the board established Education Foundation, which is a separate foundation that allows people to give to the Bibb County Education Fund to help us to pay for example, we just did teacher grants. That's funding for teacher grants. We're currently having a golf tournament this weekend to raise money for the Education Foundation. So we will have money to do that.
And where is that reported back to the board?
We have our board president is a ex officio member.
But I'm saying, I'm not a member, so I mean, how do I find out what this fund is doing?
We have not provided a report to the board, but I'm sure at some time, Dr. Rogers, we could do that.
I would certainly appreciate it if it's something that deals with the board.
Certainly.
and
Well, it's
funding.
not with the board.
I understand it's a separate,
Yes.
you made it clear this
Yeah,
time.
it's a separate thing,
Okay,
right?
this is the first explanation I'm getting on that, and I
Okay.
appreciate it, and I hope I'm not taking too much time, President Johnson, but these are things that I have not been informed of, and I like to know everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bush.
Thank you.
Our next item is FSS 3, Mathematics Instructional Resources Adoption Approval. Mr. Butler.
I have a question too, before you get to, you skip over to, I want to ask a question.
We adjusted the
I
agenda.
understand, but I want to know, I have a question as we go down. Why was it adjusted?
I don't know. We voted to adjust it.
I know, we didn't get an explanation. I want to know why was it
Why did we remove it?
So just to reiterate the question, if somebody can come answer, why did we adjust the annual renewal of the continuation pre-K grant? That's the question. Thank you.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. The pre-K continuation grant, this is just the block of time that is open now for us to go ahead and apply to continue the pre-K. And usually it is just the information memo.
But our notebook had, it was an action item, and we have an action item, and then we get here and it's taken off. I'm wondering why.
That was a mistake. It should not have been entered as an action.
An explanation. Sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Butler, FSS 3.
Thank you. Good afternoon, President Johnson, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Sims. Mathematics instructional resources are adopted by the district every 6 years. The current mathematics instructional resource adoption expires at the conclusion of the 24-25 school term. This memorandum is requesting funds to provide new textbooks and instructional resources, including digital resources for all district schools beginning with the 25-26 term. It is recommended that the Bibb County Board of Education authorizes the superintendent to approve the mathematics instructional resource adoption and purchase mathematics textbooks and instructional materials in an amount not to exceed $5,515,711.09. The funds would be paid out of fiscal year 2025 general funds.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Ficklin, seconded by Dr. Garrett Boyd. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please state by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. The next item is number FSS 4. Architectural services for renovations of Innovation and Technology Academy, Project Phase 2. Mr. Kitchens.
Thank you. Good afternoon again, President Johnson, board members, Superintendent Dr. Sims. As part of ESSER funding projects, the board approved renovations for the Innovation and Technology Academy, formerly the Butler Collision Center. This memorandum recommends a contract amendment to provide architectural services for Phase 2 upgrades. And if you'll remember, Phase 1 included 3 classrooms for EV, cybersecurity, and robotics, and also some offices, restrooms, a conference room, some viewing areas, and a robotics pit area. So the construction was divided into 2 phases because we were contractually obligated with the Butler family until they moved out of the rest of the building. And so that is anticipated in July of this year. So we are coming now to recommend the board authorize the superintendent to approve an amended contract with WM2A Architects to provide the architectural services for Phase 2 renovations for the Innovation and Technology Academy. This project will be paid for out of 2021 East Lost.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Freeman, second by Dr. Ficklin. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Ms. Johnson?
When will we be at a point to where we can place our name on the building?
Our name? So we have a temporary plaque now that is right inside the vestibule on the right-hand side. So most of our plaques have a beginning time with the board on there and an end time on the board. So without finishing Phase 2, we've got a temporary plaque that just says the beginning.
But it's not on the outside. When people passerbys ride down Eisenhower Parkway, they won't be able to see it. The reason I ask that because people ask me, where's the building? I don't know where it is, but it's nothing to identify it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So under that contractual obligation, the Butler family still has the rights to that sign out front that says Butler Collision Center.
Okay.
So when they move out, we'll remove that sign and have our signs on there.
Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I thought you meant the plaque on the building.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. The next item, Mr. Kitchens, FSS 5, Construction Management At-Risk Services for Renovations of Innovation Technology Academy, Project Phase 2.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again. And very similar to the first one, this is for the approval for a GMP for renovations to the Innovation Technology Academy Phase 2. This is very similar to the first one, except this is the construction side of it. So it's an amendment to the contract to start gathering our guaranteed maximum price. And it's recommended the Bibb County Board of Education authorize the superintendent to approve an amended contract with Warner Associates Incorporated to provide construction manager at risk services for renovations for the Innovation and Technology Academy. This will also be paid for with 2021 East Boston.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a motion to approve?
I don't have no I have a question.
After we approve the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Are there any questions?
It's no sense to ask the question after you approve the motion.
No, we just got a motion on the table now. Now, are there any questions? It's not been voted.
All of these that were presented to us had no amounts in them. I did ask the superintendent about that. So there's just no ballpark amounts of what's, I know that you're waiting on the architecture and all that kind of stuff, but is there any kind of ballpark figure that you all can go in on rather than that, like some of them say, not to cost more than a certain amount? These don't say any of that.
Yes, sir. We will bring those back. So this just amends the contract so the architect can get started designing phase 2, finishing the design, and then the GMP will come from the contractors. As we get all of our subs prices in, we'll come back with a not to exceed amount, but that'll be another contract for you guys to approve with the dollar amount. We're still in the phase of design and getting those prices for you. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. The next item is number FSS 6, Architectural Services for Northwoods Academy Gymnasium.
Okay, thank you very much. And have someone else in the room who's probably more excited about this this memorandum than I am. So this memorandum requests approval for a firm to provide us architectural services for the construction of a Northwoods Academy Gymnasium. As you may know, elementary schools are required by law to provide daily physical education or structured activity for all students grade K through 5. As Northwoods Academy does not have a physical gymnasium, activities during inclement weather are restricted. Capital Program submits that constructing a gymnasium for these purposes is consistent with other elementaries across the district. So we released a RFP in February. The 5 proposals were reviewed based on the criteria set forth in the RFP, and the results are in your listed on table 1. So it's recommended the Bibb County Board of Education authorize the superintendent to enter into contract with SP Design Group to provide architectural services for the construction of a gymnasium at Northwoods Academy. These funds will be paid for out of 2021 East Boston.
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
You've heard the motion and the second. Are there any questions? Are there any comments? Dr. Lisa Garrett.
I have no questions, but I do have a comment. And I wrote it down so I don't forget everything. Before the Bibb County Board of Education unanimously approved the building of Northwoods Academy in December of 2008, the staff at the Butler Early Childhood Center had been promised a new building to serve their very special children on 2 previous SPLOSTs. Unfortunately, the money ran out on those 2 promises. However, since August of 2009, Northwoods Academy has stood as a beacon in this district, providing the best and developmentally appropriate education for our youngest and most vulnerable preschoolers. Now, with the help of this last SPLOST and this recommendation, 250 of our precious preschoolers will be provided a gym that will desperately fill the need for them to be able to run and play on rainy days. As the former principal of the Butler Early Childhood Center, the predecessor of Northwoods Academy, I can truly attest to the stress and trauma perceived by 3, 4, and 5-year-olds and their teachers when little ones have been stayed cooped up in the building on rainy days. My heart is full as we cast the votes to make this long-needed gymnasium a reality in the place where little feet continue to make giant steps. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Morton.
And I want to piggyback on that a little bit. I have heard from Northwoods that they've wanted a gym, and it's not just for kids to play when it's inclement. When they've had to provide therapies to students who they're trying to help walk or get around better, they have to move the furniture around in the in the dining room to do that. And so this will also facilitate the ability to provide better services for some of our most vulnerable children. So, thank you.
Mr. Freeman.
I'll prefer the doctor.
Dr. Woodford.
It's a trend. It's a trend. So I too want to thank you for this playground because, you know, we are here to serve all children of Bibb County School District. And these kids are nonetheless. So thank you. I'm happy for them and may go over and play on the playground with them one day, but thank you for this. Thank you.
Mr. Freeman.
Thank you. As a former student of Tinsley, the predecessor to Northwoods Academy, I am just curious, where physically will the gymnasium be located on the site?
So if you're facing the building to the right-hand side, so there's some grassy area on that, and we have enough room that we can place it close enough to the building to put a walkway between it with a covered walkway so that students don't have to leave campus. They go out a door and they go right into the gymnasium.
So it won't affect any of the existing playgrounds or walkways?
Or parking lot or anything. That's,
thank you.
And can be built while school is in operation, so we don't have to wait for another summer.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
If there are no other questions, all those in favor of the motion, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. The next item, number FSS 7, school bus purchase. Mr. Anthony Jackson.
Good afternoon, Dr. Johnson, board members, Superintendent Dr. Sims. The Transportation Department seeks board approval to purchase 10 school buses from Yancey Bus Sales off the Georgia statewide contract at a cost not to exceed $1,499,000. If approved, this purchase will represent the last purchase of school buses utilizing 2021 East Plus funding. I would also like to point out the average years on our fleet at 9 years. When I arrived in 2014, that number was 13. And through East Plus funding and board approvals, we've really been able to make a huge impact there, so thank you. It is recommended that the Bibb County Board of Education authorize the superintendent to issue a purchase order in an amount not to exceed $1,499,000 to purchase 10 school buses from Yancey Bus Sales utilizing Georgia statewide contract.
Thank you for your presentation. You've heard the motion, or excuse me, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Morton, second by Mr. Freeman. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda.
Thank you.
The next item, number FSS 8, student Chromebooks fiscal year 26, will be presented by Mr. Kevin Adams.
Thank you. Good afternoon, President Johnson, board members, Superintendent Dr. Sims. The Technology Services Division is seeking board approval to issue a purchase order to Sherlock Technology for student Chromebooks. Chromebooks will be purchased on a 4-year cycle, financed to allow for equal payments. The devices will be purchased off state contract using a combination of eSPLOS and general funds. It is recommended the Bibb County Board of Education authorize the purchase order to Sherlock Technology for student Chromebooks in an amount of $2,919,243.58 for the first of 4 payments. The funding source is a combination of eSPLOS and FY25 general funds.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Moved by Dr. Garrett Boyd, seconded by Ms. Johnson. Are there any questions? Mr. Morton.
Mr. Adams.
Yes.
Is this the first payment under the lease purchase agreement in FSS 11?
Yes, it is.
So wouldn't it be better to approve the lease purchase agreement first before we make a payment under it? Or does it matter?
I don't think it will matter. So this would be the recommendation to move forward with the Chromebooks. That will be a resolution to cover the lease agreement.
Okay.
Dr. Ficklin.
Yeah, that was on the line of my question, because when they added 11, I thought that everything was included in 8 that we had studied it. So I guess 11 was something that perhaps the attorneys told us that we needed to go ahead and have as a component of passing this for the Chrome notebook. And one of the other questions I had was, and I think the superintendent did say that all of these Chrome notebooks are in the United States, because we know what the tariffs will do because this company is located in China. And so if they're not in the United States, we might need to look again. But I know they have one company in Midville, North Carolina.
Yeah, so Lenovo has a U.S. entity, but then the reseller, Sherlock in this case, made the heads-up move to go ahead and stock lots before any of the tariffs could interrupt things, and so they're well stocked at this point. Of course, that stock will deplenish eventually, but for our purposes, there's no concern about the tariffs having an impact on us.
He mentioned that to me, but as I thought about it, are we competing with other school systems for these Chrome notebooks? And at some point, somebody's gonna have to go back to China to get them, and then the tariff would certainly set in, and that's what my concern is at this price. And I know this price is supposed to be confirmed by the 26th of this month, and so I'm in favor of going ahead and doing it, because I think the Chrome notebooks are really a good tool for students and for classrooms, but I'm certainly concerned about the tariff aspect of this whole arrangement.
Yeah, no, I think the tariffs have a lot of people concerned about a lot of things. This should not impact this particular movement for us. So thank you for that concern.
Are there any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please. Oh, sir? Certainly.
Mr. Morton, just in response to your question of the relationship between FSA and 11, an easy solve for that would be to make the motion here contingent on the passage of FS 11. If y'all would maybe amend that motion, if you're approving this one, have it be contingent on the passage of FS 11.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Combs.
May I have a motion to amend the motion?
So move. Make a motion to amend that this passage of this action memorandum be contingent on approval of the FSS 11 memorandum.
Are we ready to, any other questions?
That's the motion. We need a second.
Okay, yeah. Second. Are there any questions? All right, we will vote on the amendment. All those in favor of the amendment, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. And then voting on the motion, all in favor of the motion, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The amended motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. Did I do that right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on to the next one. The Technology Service Division is seeking board approval to issue a purchase order to CDW for renewal of our Lightspeed products. The purchase will be made using fiscal year 26 general funds. It is recommended the Bibb County Board of Education authorize the purchase order to CDW for Lightspeed products in an amount not to exceed $189,530. The funding source is FY26 general funds.
So
You've heard the motion, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Ficklin, seconded by Mr. Morton. Are there any questions? Dr. Woodford.
So usually with our renewals, in the past, we have requested a report on the utilization or the impact or some kind of update. Do you have that?
So part of what you heard in the safety presentation connected to some of the Lightspeed features. This is a piece where we have mandatory, due to SIPA, legal requirements to filter all the content. That's another element of it. So those are pieces that you have information about, but there was not a separate presentation on this.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please state by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. The next number, FSS 10, is the Microsoft license renewal. Mr. Adams.
Thank you once again. The Technology Services Division is seeking board approval to renew our Microsoft EDU Office 365 Pro Plus Suite through a purchase of Microsoft EES licensing for FY26 through the renewal of affiliate Dell. It is recommended the Bibb County Board of Education authorize the purchase order to Dell for the district's FY26 licensing of Microsoft EDU Office 365 Pro Plus products in the amount not to exceed $432,810.90. The funding source is FY26 general funds.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Freeman, seconded by Dr. Garrett Boyd. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please state by saying aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. And finally, number FSS 11, multi-year lease purchase agreement with Lenovo Financial Services.
Thank you. You've heard the connecting piece from FSS 8. This one, the Bibb County School District seeks approval from the Board of Education to adopt a resolution authorizing the district to enter into a master state and local government lease agreement with Lenovo Financial Services for the multi-year lease purchase of certain Lenovo Chromebook laptops, devices, accessories, and related services to be purchased from Lenovo or its authorized reseller for a total maximum principal amount of $10,714,000 plus interest for a total lease purchase amount not to exceed $11,676,974.32, with said lease to be effective no later than May 1st, 2025. It is recommended that the Board of Education adopt the attached resolution authorizing the district to enter into the lease.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
So approved. Motion by Mr. Morton, seconded by Mr. Freeman. Are there any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. Madam Chairman, that concludes the business of the Fiscal Support Services Committee. Items FSS 2 and FSS 4 through 11 passed unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And thank you, Mr. Adams.
At this time,
Madam President, I would like to request a brief break so that I may confer with my colleagues prior to going to policies and rules. Take a moment, and I yield to the board for the appropriate way to make that happen.
okay, thank you, Mr. Superintendent.
You think we need a motion?
We do to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion that we take a break for an unspecified period of time.
Won't take long.
It's been motion and second that we take a break for an unspecified period of time. Are there any questions? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. All right, we'll take a break.
Thank you.
I will entertain a motion at this time to come out of recess.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion by Mr. Morton, second by Dr. Wolford. Are there any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. We're out of recess. At this time, we will hear from Fiscal Support Services Committee. I'm sorry, wrong. Policies and Rules Committee. That is Dr. Sandra Wolford.
Thank you, Madam President. The Policies and Rules Committee has 3 action items for your consideration this evening and 3 informational items for first reads. First up is PR1, Policy GARHA, Employee Sick Leave Bank. And Ms. Sherry Kovas will make the presentation.
Good afternoon, President Johnson, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Sims. With respect to policy GARHA, I would just remind the board that there were minor revisions to this to identify that there are discretions on how to implement the sick leave bank, and also to make some revisions to the regulations. So we present to the board for action item tonight the revisions to policy GARHA, Employee Sick Leave Bank.
Board members, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a motion by Ms. Hanlon, second by Mr. Hester. Other questions?
Yes, Dr. Wolford. On the application for sick leave, there was a question I did ask the superintendent. He may have answered it already, but we just got these answers since we've been here, and I hadn't had time to read what he said. But under the questionnaire, it has 5 questions, and it asks that they please be answered. And I was just curious as to find out, why would a person need to say whether or not they were receiving disability benefits while being covered by sick leave policy?
So that is a part, if they have disability coverage, then the disability coverage pays their salary. So they can't receive benefits from the sick leave bank in terms of paying salary while they are using their disability policy.
So that seems to me like that should be something that should have already been done and said to this employee before they even applied for this. For that question to be on there is to kind of implicate that the employee may be less than honest with the system. And I think that at the beginning, it should be stated somewhere in the policy that if you are receiving disability benefits, then you don't need to apply for sick leave bank. And when I saw that question, I was wondering, why was it that? Are there some people getting both their disability payments as well as sick leave bank?
No, sir. That's why that question is there.
That should have been, to me, it would have been up front, so an employee would know that since I have disability insurance, I cannot apply for sick leave. And that question to me don't need to be on there, but y'all doing it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Other questions? All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. Up next is PR2, Policy JBCCA, Student Assignment to Schools.
Thank you. The policy JBCCA contains revisions aligned to the individuals with educational programs attending the magnet school.
Dr. Wolford, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion we continue consideration of this item to the next meeting. I believe there's been some questions regarding certain aspects of the policy, and I think they're taking a look at it. So if we could continue it to the next meeting for consideration, that would be the motion I would make at this point. Postpone consideration.
Second. Motion to postpone this item for consideration, and there is a motion by Mr. Morton and seconded by Mr. Freeman. Questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, this motion carries unanimously. Next up is PR3, Policy AFC, Emergency Closings.
Thank you, Dr. Woodford. There are no substantive or no sub changes to this policy. We did have a question as to why it was on the board agenda for action item when there were not changes. And I do just want to clarify that we have policies that are on a regular cycle for review. And so we wanted to put this on here to demonstrate for you that it has been reviewed, to give you an opportunity to see it and have it in front of you. And so the action item for you is to acknowledge that there are in fact no changes to the policy. There were regulation changes, but you don't make an action item on those. Those are for information only.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
That was one of my questions as to why we would have something on the agenda that there was no action to. And that was a question that I asked the superintendent, and I appreciate that explanation.
Is that, do you want to make a
I can
motion?
move that we go ahead and.
Okay, we have a motion by Dr. Fickman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Freeman. Other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay. Action item the motion carries and will be sent to the consent agenda.
6 minutes.
PR4 is for information and is a first reading. Policy DIA, Accounting System.
Thank you. These are very minor changes. We've added an introductory sentence about the importance of maintaining accounting records. We've also clarified that the State Board of Education by statute is required to establish a computerized uniform budget and accounting system. And so we would present this for information only.
Thank you. PR5, Policy EDDA, Special Use of School Buses.
Thank you. These are also very minor changes, spelling out that school buses are to be primarily used for transporting students to and from school. The regulation that is presented to you for information provides greater detail about the criteria the district will consider when determining whether to approve the use of school buses for reasons besides transporting students to and from school.
Thank you. And PR6, Policy IFCD, School Volunteers.
Thank you. At this point, the district is not proposing any revisions to policy IFCD. Regulation IFCD does have some changes, the majority of which are simply to clarify the expectations for screening obligations of school volunteers.
Okay. PR1 and PR3 will be sent to the consent agenda. PR4, PR5, and PR6 will be posted on Assembly to receive input from board members and stakeholders for 30 days. The policy will be brought to the next board meeting for second reading and final board approval and adoption. This concludes the business of the Policies and Rules Committee. Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Wolf. At this time, we will hear from Personnel Services Committee, Mr. James Freeman, Chair.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I would ask for a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of discussing land, legal, personnel, student discipline, school safety, and/or cybersecurity matters.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Woodford, second by Mr. Morton. All those in favor of going into executive session as stated, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. We are in executive session. Board members, please grab PS 1, 2, and 3 out of your packet, and we will be meeting in the back.
Entertain a motion at this time to
So moved.
To come out of executive.
come out of executive session. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. We are out of executive session. Ms. Freeman?
Thank you, Madam President. Before we proceed, board members, may I have a motion to amend the agenda to remove PS6 from the committee agenda?
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Woodford, second by Ms. Hanlon. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes. And with that, board members, may I have a motion to approve PS1 as presented?
Second.
So moved by Dr. Woodford, seconded by Mr. Morton. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes unanimously. May I have a motion to approve PS2 as presented?
So moved.
So moved by Dr. Garrett Boyd. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Ficklin. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve PS5 as presented?
So moved.
So moved by Dr. Ficklin.
Second.
By Dr. Woodford. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes. Madam President, that concludes the business of the Personnel Services Committee. Items PS 1, 2, and 5 will be sent to the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Also, you have for your information, PI 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'd like for you to make sure you pay attention to those. And at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
That motion and second, motion by Mr. Freeman, second by Dr. Wolford, that we adjourn this meeting. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. The meeting is adjourned. The time now is 7:09, and I'm calling this meeting to order. At this time, I will entertain a motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Been moved by Dr. Strickland, seconded by Dr. Wolford.
Madam President, may I make a motion to amend the agenda as presented? I propose that we amend the agenda to remove items FSS2 and PR2 from the consent agenda, and that we add item PS6 to new business.
All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Second. Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. So we have amended the agenda. Thank you.
And now we need to vote on the agenda as amended.
Will we please let us, at this time, vote on the agenda as amended? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. Thank you. At this time, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance by Nicolata. Nicolaya, please forgive me for mispronouncing your name. Nikolai Connor Floor, 6th grade student at Miller Magnet School.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Full service.
Thank you. At this time, we will have the invocation by Mr. Steve Jones. Oh, I understand it's newly Dr. Steve Jones.
Correction, Arizona.
Okay, Arizona White.
Watkins, yes, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
May we please bow our heads to pray. Our most heavenly Father, we come to you tonight to tell you thank you, Lord. We thank you, Lord, for how you've kept us. We thank you for how your hand has shielded and protected us. Lord, we come before you tonight with grateful hearts, lifting up our schools and all who are connected to them. Lord, we pray for the school board. Grant them wisdom, discernment, and unity as they make decisions that impact the lives of so many. Let their leadership be guided by your truth, justice, and compassion. Lord, we pray for every teacher and staff member tonight. Father, please strengthen them daily. Fill them with patience, creativity, and endurance. May they feel supported and valued in their incredible work. Let your joy be their strength. Father, we also lift up every student in this district. We ask you, oh God, to cover them with your protection and peace. Open their minds to learning, their hearts to kindness, and their lives to your purpose. May no distraction or discouragement keep them from you and becoming all that you have created them to be. And Lord, we pray for every family tonight. We ask you, Lord, to bless the homes of every student. We ask you, Lord, to be their provider, oh God, that you will give them love, stability, and provision. Father, draw these families closer together and closer to you, and let your grace and your favor rest upon them. In every classroom, every hallway, every meeting, and every home, let your presence be known and felt. And Father, we ask all of this in your mighty and matchless name. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ms. White. At this time, we will have the report from the superintendent.
Thank you, Madam President, and once again, good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Each month, we present highlights happening within our schools and district, and here are just a few of those highlights. In honor of National Library Month, the Heritage Elementary Art Department presents Art Inspired by Books for this month's board meeting artwork. This showcase highlights the connection between literature and visual art as students create artworks inspired by some favorite books. This is a celebration of creativity, imagination, and the power of storytelling, encouraging students to express their interpretations of beloved stories through creative mediums. National Library Month is an annual celebration that underscores the invaluable role libraries play in our communities. Libraries are more than just repositories of books. They are vibrant centers of learning, inspiration, and community engagement. It's time to celebrate. Photos here represent National School Library Month, Autism Acceptance Month, Paraprofessional Appreciation Month, National Assistant Principals Week, and National After School Professionals Appreciation Week. Also celebrated this month are National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, National Public School Volunteer Week, Administrative Professionals Day, and Month of the Military Child. Tune into 13 WMAZ Friday morning for the School of the Week, highlighting Exceptional Children's Week. And if your month, week, or day has not come, just keep living, it's coming. Meet me at the mall. Thank you to all of the amazing students, parents, staff, and vendors who made Meet Me at the Mall on April the 8th a success. And thank you to Macon Bibb and Macon Mall for hosting what was an amazing event. 99 vendors, music, fun, resources, you name it, it was there. But let's watch this quick video of highlights by Westside graduate Zion Green. Oh, it's such a good video. I almost want to take recess, but I'm not going to do it. Okay. Well, we're gonna send that video out. It's out on our social media platforms, but it's an awesome video that captures the entire moment. Schools throughout the district have been diligently preparing for the Georgia milestones, but I want to give a special shout out to all the students, staff, and even parents who participated in Saturday milestone sessions at schools. We are so much better together, and I am so impressed by your dedication. Georgia milestones begin next week, and central office staff and Board of Education members have been providing encouragement to students the past 2 weeks. These team members have visited classes, brought snacks to students, and even wrote uplifting cards and letters. If you're a staff member or a board member who was able to take some time to go and visit a school and offer some encouragement, would you please stand at this time? Any board members or staff members who've taken that time, would you stand? Let's give them a round of applause. Great. Family. While BCSD was on spring break, the work did not stop for Howard High entrepreneur Jayla Evans of ACOS. She competed in the 2025 Georgia Flex competition. Although the results weren't what we were hoping for, we are truly proud of her hard work and dedication in representing Bibb County School District. Last week, district leaders met with representatives from a variety of community agencies, including Atrium Health Navicent, the Medical Center, Macon Bibb Emergency Management Agency, and Bibb County Sheriff's Office for the 3rd Annual Safety and Security Summit. Leaders participated in a tabletop exercise to discuss action steps during a hypothetical severe weather incident. We appreciate these partnerships and the opportunity to plan ahead for potentially dangerous situations. Our athletic directors undergo continuous professional development throughout the year, both at the district level and beyond. Recently, as a result of this work, Southwest High School Athletic Director Joseph Dupree, Howard High's Assistant AD Nicholas Brooks, Northeast High School's Assistant AD William Gordon, and Westside High School's Assistant AD Jason Stevens received their Certified Athletic Administrator certification from the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Additionally, Westside High School Athletic Director Dr. Candace Roberson and Miller Fine Arts Magnet Middle School Athletic Coordinator Jennifer Raymond took the next step and achieved their Certified Master Athletic Administrator certification. Congratulations to each of these leaders. Last week, students unveiled a mural they had been working on at SOAR Academy through a partnership with Communities in Schools of Central Georgia, MVP, Making Violence Prevention, and Mama Hawk Draws. The mural was conceptualized with students, and they even helped choose the quote, "You can literally come back from anything. It's all about your mindset." I am so proud of these students, and what was impressive is that not only were their lives impacted, but the lives of the people who worked with them were impacted just as much, if not more. Matilda Hartley Elementary School has been invited to present at this year's 33rd Annual Model Schools Conference. Leaders will share their playbook of best practices and innovative strategies that are making a difference in student success. The district hosted a transition resource fair for students with disabilities last month. The fair connected with students with disabilities, as well as their families, with the resources and opportunities available to them after high school. This included various agencies and organizations that provide education and employment for individuals with disabilities. Here's some of the feedback from parents who attended. I connected with more than 5 resources. Another parent said, I got help with the Medicaid waiver and guardianship. Another said, we were able to make a few really great connections. We hope seeing how others benefited will encourage more parents to connect with us for the massive opportunities in the future. Shout out to district leaders who were recently recognized for their community impact. Congratulations to Campus Police Chief Curtis Adams on receiving the prestigious Diamond Award. This recognition, you can check out, somebody's clapping, so we might as well all clap. Come on. I'm calling the clap man. This recognition is a testament to your unwavering commitment to excellence, leadership, and safety of our community. And congratulations to CTAE Executive Director and Hutchings CEO, Dr. Cassandra Miller-Washington, on being honored with the first Boys and Girls Club of Central Georgia Rising Tide Woman of the Year Award. You are making a difference and creating a brighter future for the next generation. Yesterday, the U.S. Department of Defense hosted 20 JROTC cadets and cadre from Bibb County School District to learn about leadership and the warrior spirit. Brigadier General Terrence Adams offered lessons in courage and commitment as he reflected upon his own military journey. The cadets also enjoyed a encounter with Chairman of the Joint Staff, General Daniel Kane, who shared words of encouragement and thanked the students for their interest in national service. And on the horizon, I know one board member is going to get excited about this one. 2 truly inspirational events are on the horizon for BCSD students. The 5th Annual Griffith Foundation Poetry Slam is coming up on April the 25th at 6:30 p.m. at the historic Douglas Theater. Underclassmen and seniors from each high school will be performing their original poems on the theme Social Justice, Silent No More. Senior participants will be competing for a total of $30,000. Can I compete? In post-secondary scholarships donated by the Griffith Foundation. Communities and schools of Central Georgia and the Epsilon Omega Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha will be serving as additional sponsors. Tickets are free and must be obtained in advance. We are also eagerly anticipating the Cox Inspirational Student Heroes Award ceremony, recognizing exceptional student journeys on May 1st here at the Professional Learning Center. This event is also free, and the program will begin at 5:00 p.m. Lastly, we have our great and our third annual Bibb County Golf Tournament happening at River North this Saturday. We want to thank our Bibb County Education Foundation, all of our sponsors, and all of our golfers for helping to make a difference in the lives of our students. And before I turn over the mic to recognitions, I see our Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, Dr. Ethelette, coming forward. I just want to underscore once again, we are embarking upon an incredible season of testing. And I want us to continue to encourage all of our students, all of our staff members, all of our administrators, everybody to just buckle down, relax, and do their absolute best. Can we take just a moment for all of our school-based personnel and students in the room to stand up? And can you give them a round of applause for the hard work they've done up to this point? Make no mistake that the milestones represents one of our Super Bowl moments, one of our NBA Finals moments, one of our Masters moments. This is our moment, and we're ready to shine. And with that said, we'll have recognitions by Dr. Lett.
Good evening, President Johnson, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Sims. The National History Day competition allows students to showcase their knowledge in a variety of ways. These students create documentaries, websites, exhibits, and more to highlight events in history. The following district students not only competed in these events, but they secured first place honors against students across Middle Georgia. Please come forward for a photograph when your name is called. We will take photos by category. From Miller Fine Arts Magnet Middle School, Delta Crawley, Ella Evans, and Cordelia Vanderhook for group documentary. From Miller Fine Arts Magnet Middle School, Gabriella Brown and Zoe Harden for group performance. From Miller Fine Arts Magnet Middle School, Connor Floor and Gabe Gilbert for group website.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Good job.
From Howard High School, Mamie Masoka for individual performance. From Howard High School, Aiden Eason for individual paper. Congratulations and thank you for being built for Bibb. The Math 24 competition tests students' speed and accuracy with basic math operations, as well as challenging their creativity. Students compete to secure points by finding a combination of numbers on a card that reach a final total of 24. Each year, a district winner is crowned for 4th and 5th grade. Students, please come forward with school representatives when your name is called. Our 4th grade winner was Ryder Lee from Vineville Academy of the Arts.
Congratulations.
Our 5th grade winner was Messiah Bishop from Hurd Elementary School, academic magnet. Congratulations, and thank you for being built for Bibb. The math team competition allows students to showcase their mathematics capabilities in multiple ways. Winners are crowned for a larger team event, as well as a speed round and an individual test to help cover a variety of math skills. Students, when your names are called, please come forward with your school representatives. Up first, Sonny Carter Elementary's Ima Lugmani won 4th grade individual test competition. The team competition was won by the Springdale Elementary team of Dylan Floyd, Cooper Hollis, Hannah Kim, Eleanor Noble, Caleb Renault, and Aditi Fatopoli, led by Amy Morgan. Hannah Kim and Eleanor Noble also won the speed round, and Hannah won the 5th grade individual test competition. Congratulations, and thank you for being built for Bibb. At this time, I'd like to ask the following students from Springdale Elementary School to come forward: Boone Stanfield, Rosalie Huang, Joel Doctor, JT Long, Dylan Floyd, Cooper Hollis, Gwen Jordan, Harrison Fraga, and Coach Leslie Black. Each year, our students compete in Quiz Bowl, which seeks to showcase their academic prowess and quick thinking skills. These teams answer questions from a variety of disciplines and topics under time constraints as they compete for the district crown. This year, the Springdale team came out on top, finishing in 1st place in the district. Several of these students also won the Quiz Bowl competition at the state junior beta competition and will compete in the national competition this summer. Congratulations, everyone, and thank you for being built for Bibb.
Okay, athletic directors play an important role in our schools, both serving as coaches and leaders for other coaches. This role also requires dedication to the health and well-being of our student athletes and supporters, as well as fiscal responsibility of athletic programs. The district's athletic department, led by AD Kevin Grooms, began hosting an aspiring athletic directors cohort for the last 4 years to educate and prepare interested coaches for stepping into this important role. This year's cohort is the third group to complete the award-winning program. When I call your name, please come forward for recognition. Robert Johnson from Ballard Hudson Middle School. And Mr. Ron Hill from Southwest High School. Congratulations to both of you gentlemen, and thank you for being built for Bibb. Thank you, and this concludes our recognitions for the evening.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. At this time, we will listen to the invitations to visitors to address the board. But before I call your name, I would like to share some information with you. Speakers shall have a maximum of 3 minutes. Speakers may not address confidential student or personnel matters. Speakers should be courteous and professional. Abusive language and/or personal attacks will not be permitted. Board members will not respond to comments from speakers. The board president will refer speakers to the superintendent and district staff as necessary for further resolution. First, we will have Attorney Roy Miller.
Good evening to President Johnson, Superintendent Sims, and to the board. I'm Roy Miller. I'm an attorney here in Macon, Georgia. In 1994, I became the first and only person to have the N-word deleted from a major dictionary, Funk and Wagner's dictionary. This deletion served as acknowledgement by an expert of words that such definition could never be correct description of an innocent black child. The definition amounted to defamation of character. At the time, few people knew that the derogatory definition had been changed to refer only to any dark-skinned or colored person, see Negro. In 1994, the deletion by Funk and Wagner's caused a domino effect of definition change in all major dictionaries. Today, I'm reacting to the concern for the recent N-word uses at Rutland Middle School and how popular that has become. That has created a major public concern. You know, when it comes to that word, I don't play about the derogatory word, and I don't tolerate anyone disrespecting our youth. I love our youth too much to just sit and see them disrespected. Some try to disguise the N-word when they speak through different spellings and different pronunciation. But no matter how you spell the word, we still know what you mean. Certainly, at its worst, the N-word is the ultimate word of racism and disrespect against black people. Even if students do not know the respect, teachers should. no matter how common destructive behavior done in the streets should stay in the streets and outside of school doors. Teachers are leaders and cannot practice disrespect or profanity as misbehaving students do. Similar to the unwanted touching that amounts to sexual battery, it does not matter what was intended, but how the victim felt about it. Likewise, people foolishly use the N-word at their own risk. When I hear the N-word, I think of an aging black slave woman giving birth to the master's baby and both being called N-words. When I hear the N-word, I see a father lynched and hanging in a tree because he was trying to protect his daughter from rape. When I hear the N-word, I see a beautiful black baby that lived to be an old man and was called the N-word every day of his life. When I hear the N-word, I see 1 million black slaves lying in cemeteries, referred to as N-word cemeteries, and they all were referred to by their masters as N-words.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
3 minutes is up. Went that fast? Well, if it's okay, I did bring a proposal to make Bibb County Schools no N-word usage zones that I wanted to share and pass out to each one of the council members to at least consider this proposal to make our schools no.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we will hear from Jessica Stromes. Hope I pronounced that right. Jessica.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm here tonight regarding a situation involving my daughter over at Rutland Middle School. On March 24th, my daughter was assaulted in her classroom by a male student after the teacher stepped out of the room to tend to some dismissal procedures. Now she's facing corrective surgery to restore her appearance to what it looked like before the attack. This happened even after it was brought to the teacher's attention that the other student had been harassing her throughout the day. Multiple students brought it to his attention. On March 27th, I wrote an email with details about the situation and my concerns. And that email was forwarded to every administrator that y'all have outlined in the Bibb County School District's protocol for addressing concerns, from the principal to the superintendent, as well as their secretaries. And at this time, I have not received a single response from anyone. That was 3 weeks ago. I submitted a Let's Talk concern a week later because there had been no response. Only after that, I finally got a phone call from the principal, and he told me he just happened to stop by the office and wanted to check in. He acted as if he was completely unaware of the email and the Let's Talk concern that I had sent in. In the follow-up conversation we had a few days later, he asked me what I wanted him to do to ensure her safety so she could return to school. And I need to be clear on this. It is not my job as a parent to determine how to keep students safe in a public school. That is his job, and the oversight of that is the administration's job. To make matters worse, even after the principal and the case report stated that the other student wouldn't be returning this year, he's already back in class. While my daughter attends remotely and is scared to come to school because she's scared this will happen again and there won't be anybody there to protect her. A staff bathroom and a hallway were painted with my daughter's blood, and nobody bothered to call campus police for almost 24 hours. Campus police didn't even bother calling me to tell me that the case was closed. I only found that out after I requested a copy of the case report. And the case report's misleading at best. It's riddled with omissions, and it completely changes the perspective on how this situation needs to be viewed. This is a complete failure of responsibility and accountability in the school system. The actions and the lack of them, of the administration and the district's employees from the teacher on up, are in direct contravention of multiple legal and ethical obligations outlined in the school district's policies, state and federal law, and the PSC. And despite the severity of the breach, I'm standing here today, I am no closer to a resolution than I was on the day of the incident. With the number of incidents occurring at Rutland, it's clear that the members of the administration aren't enforcing the policies that this district has put in place.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Thank you. That ends our visitors. At this time, Mr. Superintendent, is there a need for an executive session?
No, Madam President.
Thank you. At this time, I will entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda, which includes confirmation of the minutes of the board, FSS 3 through FSS 11, PR 1, PR 3, PS 1, PS 2, PS 5. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Been motion by Mr. Freeman. Second by Mr. Morton. Is there a discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. The ayes carry. So the consent agenda has been approved. At this time, I will entertain a motion for new business.
Madam President,
Mr. Freeman?
may I make a motion to approve PS 6 as presented?
Second.
Been motion by Mr. Morton.
Nope, Mr. Freeman.
By Mr. Freeman, sorry. Second by Mr. Morton. Is there a discussion? No discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. The ayes have it. We will entertain the motion. At this time, we will have a vote for PS 6.
I think that's what we just
You
did.
just did that? Okay. All right. We'll listen to Dr. Sim at this time.
Yes, I just wanted to announce our new hires. We have our new assistant principal of Rutland Middle School, Sharita Harris. New assistant principal at Weaver Middle School, Jose Laney. New assistant principal at Union Elementary School, Angelisa Lattimore. Program support coordinator at Osor Academy, Lisa Thompson, and our new executive director of PEC, Tilnisha Rassa. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there an old business? Not. May I have a motion to adjourn? the meeting?
Adjourn.
Second.
It's the motion by Dr. Ficklen, second by Mr. Wharton, that the meeting is adjourned. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Okay, the meeting is adjourned.